What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Hustlers Kung Fu. Today we're going to clown, we're going to talk about it. The stimulus got you, the PP loan, and there will not be any forgiveness. And forbearance is for foreclosure. There's some new developments that have jumped up, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them. We're going to have us a good time because these are some strange times. Plus, I got some other stuff to share with y'all. All right. This edition of Hustlers Kung Fu Live was brought to you by Hustlers Kung Fu University. And we're doing something a little different. Little different. All right. So you see this course right here, 30 days to 2,500, the original course. It is now free. And what do you get? And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing all this. You're going to get your foundational education. When I created this course, there were some people who did really well, and there were some people who kind of just sucked the big one. And part of the reason was the people who did really well already had businesses and they have already had the foundational education. So this course now will be part of foundational education so you can learn what you don't know. How about that, apples? Now, just don't get the course because it's free. Get the course and actually do the work and make some money. Make some money. All right? Links should be below if my YouTube stuff worked the way it was supposed to. All right. Let's do one more thing here because I'm getting ready to go back to how I used to be. I've gotten away from that, so I'm about to make a return to the things I used to do and go ahead and just talk about the issues. All right. So what's going on with this PPP thing? There are a lot of banks that are having problems with the PPP. There's a lot of people who are having problems with the forbearance. Now, I want you to watch when this thing reaches a conclusion. At some point, we're going to reach a conclusion. And a lot of these people who thought they were getting some free government money, it ain't going to happen. I've been just reading stuff about Wells Fargo. Let me see. Let me look at it. All right. Wells Fargo's question about its handling of PP loans among banks sued in lawsuit alleging small businesses were blocked from loans. All right, that's just one thing. See, this is how it goes. You have the Small Business Administration, and then you have the banks. So you have these layers here. I'm about to tell y'all that this is going to be a hot mess, and there are many people who are acting in good faith that they got these loans, they're doing what they're supposed to do, that these loans will be forgiven, and I'm here to tell you, no, they will not. And if you don't pay them back, they're going to jack up your credit. And in the case of some of these larger loans, they may come after you. For you folks who got like 500,000, 2 or 3 million, they ain't going to be playing with that. So you heard it here first, because I'm really good at these predictions. I'm really, really good. You know what's funny? I had a conversation with somebody today who clearly is a Trump person. He was talking about how good the economy was. He said that construction was booming. He said that trucking was booming and some other stuff. Let me go ahead because he didn't. I don't think he responded after I lit him up. Because, see, folks don't understand. I study this. I research this. I live and breathe this stuff. This is what I do. Nope. He did not. He has not said anything. Let me go back. I'm trying to find it. It's kind of hard to find. So I'm going to have to, let's see. All right, here it is. Look, here it is. The businesses I know adapted and are doing well. Most of these claims were knee-jerk reactions. People are choosing unemployment over employment because of the pay and afraid of the virus. The economy is still booming in a lot of sectors. What planet are you on? GDP took a 4.8% bro. That's not booming. Some companies are making money, but overall the economy is fucked. My sales increased. Most business sales tanked. Please name all of these booming sectors. Construction is still booming. Service industry is booming. Trucking is booming. Restaurants that have adapted are booming. Content creation is booming. Grocery stores, home improvement, and big box stores are booming. My response. Trucking businesses are going out of business left and right. Many restaurants that have closed will not really open, and many restaurants could not adapt nor profit from the takeout and delivery. Construction projects were paid for in advance. That's not current economy. Whenever someone comes to your city and they put up a large skyscraper, the city has it set up. Because you ever notice, like, you never see someone like a half-built skyscraper? The cities ain't going to have that in their skyline, so they make sure before this company breaks ground that all the funding is in place. So that's not current funding. You conflict grocery stores and big box retailers. Best Buy furloughed a lot of its staff. Grocery stores are not going to carry the economy, and it's still getting worse. Certain people online are not booming at all, and I know quite a few who are going out of business. And this is what he said. So you consider, he said, there's always a balance. For every business that's closing down, there's new ones popping up, including trucking. Restaurants that closed their doors didn't want to adapt. I know a restaurant. Now, this is where he got me. If you were working at a cashier, big box, four store, or in any job making $15 an hour before the pandemic, you didn't have a job to begin with. All right. So let's go ahead. Let me show y'all something. $15 an hour is $28,000 a year. So over half of America didn't have a job, according to this clown. See, this is what gets me when I deal with these people. They don't know what I know because I study this stuff. I read articles every day. I breathe this stuff. I know this stuff. And I was just sitting there like he was talking out of his ass. Because I literally destroyed him, and he's probably a Trump person who wants to come up here and talk about this economy. But I used his own logic against him, so I was like, he didn't respond to that. So the people who were making, that was over half of America. So over half of America didn't have a job, bro. Over half of America didn't have a job. He didn't come back with that. See, a lot of these people who have not been touched, they have some wild and crazy ideals about the economy. And I'm just sitting there like, really? Let's see, did he come back? Nope, he did not come back on that one. You're talking about half the country, which means we were not booming before the virus. And that's what I've been talking about on this channel for the last 2 years. Why you needed to get yourself together, why you needed to get your paper together, why you needed to do what you needed to do to get yourself together. I'm just sitting there like, these folks act like this thing ain't real. And also, we've had the conversation about restaurants. And I watched several stories by restaurant owners who said they were not able to adapt to carry out. One guy said the carry out is just barely making, he's just barely paying expenses. He's not making a profit. And this whole thing, like all the businesses I know that adapted, they're doing just fine. That's crazy talk. That's idiocy. See, this is the thing, because like I said, I've been talking about the economy for 2 years. I know this stuff forward and backwards. And the economy, if the economy was as strong as these clowns keep trying to pretend it was, so many people wouldn't have been hurt. If the economy was as strong as people claimed it was, they wouldn't have been hurt. People would have had enough money to put money away. People would have been in a better situation. But no, these numbnuts like, oh, the economy is booming. Really? And that whole thing about construction and, real estate is going to lag behind because there's still people who are buying houses. There's still people who are looking for deals. There's still people who are flipping. But as the liquidity starts to dry up and as this employment, because employment, and also we're at about 23% unemployment right now. We might reach 30. I predicted that we will reach 30. So we're about 7% away from 30% unemployment, which is the highest unemployment we've ever had in America. Even though the states are opening up, a lot of these companies are not opening up because they can't. They just can't. So there's so many people who are going to get screwed by this stimulus plan and these forbearance. I mean, just many months in the future, just reflect back to this live stream and you're going to be like, because people were getting themselves into it. And also, you're dealing with the government. The government has never had your best interests at heart. And I'm just looking at it. And also, the stimulus videos are starting to lose a little steam because essentially all they're reporting is about proposals. Nothing signed into law. And also, on my page, let me show you this to reinforce what I was talking about. All right. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pushes a $800 billion good Lord, all this pop-up stuff. $800 billion stimulus package as the GOP resists big spending. So Trump don't want to cut a check and the GOP doesn't want to cut a check. I talked about this before. And people keep like, well, Trump, he just wants the Democrats and the... No. Trump don't want to cut another check. Because, as I said the other day, with the $3 trillion that the Fed just borrowed, with the $2.2 trillion plus another 500, we're almost at $6 trillion in deficit spending in just a matter of a few weeks. I don't think there's going to be another check. I know that's a bold claim, but I don't think there's going to be another check. And I think we're going to push through this. We're going to try to get as many of these businesses open as possible. And we're just going to ride this thing out, man. We're going to ride it out. Because one of the things that people fail to understand, like this whole person, like this whole booming, the economy is booming. Like my economy is booming, but that doesn't mean that I can't see all of these people who are out here hurting. Literally 8 of my exes reached out to me during this period. How you doing? What's going on with you? Are you still with that chick? 8. I know people right now, like my neighbor next door, he's a real estate attorney. He's busy. His wife, she does some other stuff. They're independently wealthy over here. So if I was just to put my head down and look at my neighbors, I think, yeah, the world is good. But it ain't. The world's on fire. There are people out there who are going to go to bed tonight who are not going to have any food. They're going to go to bed hungry. They don't have money for gas. This is the reality. And I keep having people, because people are like, well, I don't think we're going to get to 30%. And even with the states opening up, and God forbid if we have a second wave of infections, that's really going to throttle the economy. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I am wrong, but I think we're going to get to 30% based upon the number of businesses that will be unable to open, and then the lack of the economy, the lack of things going on in the economy. Because I honestly think that all these folks who got these forbearance loans, these stimulus package loans, the PPP, I guarantee you, once it comes back, once we go down further down the road, there's going to be a lot of gotchas. And it's funny how people conflate when they're doing well as everyone else should be doing well. Because I know businesses that have been touched. I know one place that went to a carry-out model and they got super busy. I mean, they literally was rolling. And but see, the owner of that business, the building that he's in, he owns. He owns the whole building, and he rents out other parts of the building. So where he has his pizza place, he owns the building. So, when you're looking at these business owners, the people who own stuff outright and have cash are going to win. They're going to win during this because they can take these little hits. They can take these delays. It's like, okay, well, my tenants are not going to pay me, but I don't have to pay the bank. I guarantee you, when it all comes up, just March, come back to this video about 8, 9, 10, 12 months from now when people got to start paying these loans back. I don't know the terms because I didn't get one. And I got a lot of hits for saying that I was not going to apply for PPP because I don't need the money. My business is growing. I'm making more money than ever. So that just would have been dishonorable for me to go for the money grab. Grant Cardone. I'm like, dude, you flying around in your private jet and you going for this government money. Really? Really? Why? That whole dishonorable thing. But I'm here to tell you, and a lot of these people, because I've had a lot of real estate people reach out to me and they said I was 100% correct that these people should have got a deferment and not a forbearance. And they should have knew. But once again, this whole stimulus package was rushed. And they were, they got something, they got these checks. And there's still a whole bunch of people out there who have not got their $1,200. There's still a whole bunch of people who have been laid off for weeks and have not got their unemployment. And people talking about a second stimulus. The first one is still in effect. And this is, because today I was, let me go ahead and tell you, I'll get to that a little later about what I'm doing. But I'm just sitting here looking at all this stuff because, like the stimulus videos are starting to lose steam because people like, this YouTuber's just regurgitating what this other YouTuber said. They're just reporting on something that ain't real. Folks are starting to figure that out and they're like starting to tune it out. Cause I was just sitting there like, none of this stuff's going to pass. And, there was Clearview Taxi was like, they're going to be pushing the 2,000. You ain't getting $2,000 a month out the government. It ain't happening. And I'm going to tell you why. As bad as things have gotten, things have not completely melted down. There's still, like trucking, like I said, there's a lot of trucking companies going out of business. There's a lot of truckers making more money than ever. It depends upon how you're positioned. Positioning means everything. These companies that have a lot of debt and leverage and low rates have gone down. Oh, they screwed. They screwed because they can't make enough money to pay back their debt. But the guy who owns this truck, who can run lean and clean, and every time he gets in that truck, whether it's 100, 200, 300, 400, it's money he made because he don't have this debt. That's who's going to win. That's who's going to win in this new environment, which is going to be around for a minute. Because one of the things that people have got to understand, and today I was in Hustlers Kung Fu, and I should, because like I said, I got one of my ads to get a view rate of about 27%. And I got a friend and we were talking because he runs YouTube ads, and he's like, 20% is pretty good. And I've done better. I've had view rates of 87% in like several click-throughs. So I went ahead and just took all of that stuff down and started new. And I was getting into, and that's how the screenshot that came up, because I realized that, when I was doing 30 days to 2,500, there was a screenshot in there like, I'm making money while everybody's on lockdown. And that was such a seminal moment for now that even back then. And what I'm getting ready to do is get into foundational education, because some of y'all may see these new videos. I haven't decided if I'm going to do placements. We will see. But one of the things that I want you guys to understand is on this business journey, which saved me, and this is why I'm so passionate about starting businesses. Oh yeah, and I don't know if Rules for Rebels is here, but I saw Cody Hawk. Yeah. He's tapping out of Amazon, and he says, I'm tapping out of Amazon because, things are so good, and I'm not going to do Amazon sell. I'm like, Cody. You lying, dude. There's a reason that there's all of these Amazon businesses for sale on Empire Flippers. There is a reason, and the reason is not good. Jeff Bezos is ruthless. He is ruthless, and they cut out all of the people who were getting these high commissions from the Amazon affiliate program. And as I predicted many years ago, they're starting to get rid of these small sellers they don't need, because Amazon is ruthless. And it's like, we're going to get this money over here, we're going to get this money over there. And when you go to Empire Flippers, you see a lot of Amazon FBA businesses for sale. I mean, seriously. The way that it's told to me that once you get an Amazon FBA business and once you get your products and stuff, you just sit back and collect money. Why would you sell such a cash cow? Why? There is no way that I'm selling Hustlers Kung Fu. I'm not selling any of my stuff. I'm making too much money. I'm like, no, I ain't selling this. And the way that I'm going to set it up, in the next 2 years is that it's going to make even more money without me being as active. I'm not selling it. Why are they selling? If Amazon FBA is so good, and look, the majority of these companies for sale are Amazon FBA. The majority. Why are they trying to sell? You got a business that makes you $23,000 a month. So that's going to be $250,000 a year. Why are you trying to sell that? Why don't you just go out and hire you an assistant to run your business while you chill? Why are you trying to sell it? Because there's a problem. Someone's trying to sell a drop shipping business. I would be I don't know how it works, because like if you have an Amazon FBA business and you create an LLC and you sell the LLC, you can get away with it. But if you have an Amazon FBA business in your name, you can't sell that. But they trying to get rid of these companies, man. They trying to get rid of them, man. They trying to sell them. It's crazy what's going on in these streets. But I'm here to tell you that the folks who sign up for these PP loans, don't be surprised to hear a bunch of whining and complaining as we go down here, because I don't know at what point these loans are supposed to be forgiven, but I guarantee you a lot of them are not going to be forgiven. And I think this is why some of these big businesses gave the money back, because they were like, whoa, 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 we don't want to pay that back. We thought that was free money. So it is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What's up, people? Troy Glover, when you gave the king of foreclosure running the U.S. Treasury, what do you expect? Bunch of damn pirates. Arr! Oh, there's always a catch. Kevin, hey. Folks about to be handed, because see, this is why I feel like real estate is still pretty robust right now, but just wait. The Airbnb sellers are already putting their properties on the market. They're trying to get out of them because they don't have any reserves. And literally, we're talking about 2 months. I want you to think about this. Literally 2 months of hardship took these people out. 2 months. Last year, I had a heart attack and I didn't work for 5 months. Did I lose my house? Nope. Did I lose my cars? Nope. Actually, I was still making money because when I was out of it. So I was down for 5 months and my business actually made a little bit more money. These people are not running their damn businesses correctly. They're not. 2 months and you out the game? You don't have 2 months reserves? You hustling backwards. Because, I waited until the economy started opening to start bringing this stuff up, because a lot of people, and this is something I learned in the storage auction game, that many people just don't run their business correctly. Business makes plenty of money. They just are spending money like crackheads. 2 months, you got to put your Airbnb property up for sale because you don't have no money. You have no reserves. None. So many of these businesses are running improperly that when they get this money, they go out and get Big Booty Betty or Mercedes. They get Bamboo, a little sports car. They get their little side honey, and they just spending money and get all these obligations. The business making money. They just don't have no damn money management skills. As someone who experienced his own personal crisis last year, where I did not work for 5 months and I didn't lose a damn thing. I mean, that's a testament to what I teach. There's a lot of people that could have happened to them and they could have been in a world of financial hurt. Because I practice what I preach, I was good. I'm going to have $1 million to spend on ads. Once I get this stuff worked out, you're going to see me spending 6 figures on ads. You're going to probably see me all over the place. Because I practice what I preach. And also, I've been in a really bad situation financially. I've been ass out. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be hungry. I know what it feels like to have tooth work need to be done, but you have the money to get it done. So you go to bed with your jaw throbbing. I know what that feel like. I ain't going back to those days. Those days are not coming back to my house. I'm not going through that. I'm not doing any of that. Anthony Smith, trucking is not booming. People going out of business right now. I know. Anthony Smith, I'm owner operator. David, a lot of people over optimistic think Amazon Instacart type expectations will enough to make up for 50 million jobs lost. I know. Erica Williams, I'm always fighting with folks on the internet. That's what I do. I kind of like it. Under 30K a year is crazy in a town under 50,000. Over half of America makes less than $30,000 a year. Over half. So there's 160 million people working. That means 80 million people make less than 30K a year. 80 million. Half the country. Folks out here feeling essential. BK from the Rockies, I know. That's funny. David Chang is struggling. You know it's a problem. Eric Williams, thanks for the $10 super chat. You the sum of your 5 or 10 of the friends. All of my friends are business owners or tech. Their wives are engineers or admins. Ladies, I have to remind them often, most of America does not live like us. Pretty much. Pretty much. Like, I'm like in an island. Like, my neighbors, they're not losing their houses. They chilling. They're having sex all day. They're doing what they're doing. They're not. But I know that most of America does not live like I live. I know this. I live in the real world. And like whenever I go outside my neighborhood, I'm just sitting there like, wow, who are all these poor people? Oh my God. Why? Where's all of the well manicured lawns and the spotless spick and span businesses? Where's all that? What's this hood place? Why does this place look like a crack house? Because I've left my neighborhood. Kevin Davis, the cheese move. I think these restaurants have bad marketing. They, it's like I said, and I actually in one of my in my ClickFunnels group, then this girl was having this conversation because she used to work in the restaurant. Then she got so fed up, she went to internet marketing. And I said, if I had a restaurant, I would have had everybody's email address and phone number long before now. You don't understand how powerful an email list is or a phone number list is. I mean, you just don't understand. Rod for real estate. That's what I was trying to explain to this fool. Because there's these people who live in these fantasy worlds. Honey Bunny, this pandemic proved the economy was living paycheck to paycheck as a whole. Pretty much. Which goes to my point that this economy was not as strong as people pretended it to be. Like my personal economy is super strong, but I'm an internet dude. And everybody that was properly positioned on the internet, they making money hand over fist. And there's a lot of internet businesses going out. Trucking is a forward leading indicator. We're hurting right now, pretty much. BK Rockets, yeah, I saw that. I think it was Grubhub. Kevin Davis, like I said, my original predictions was 30 to 40%. I think we're about 8%, either 8 or 7% away from that. And what's going to happen this summer is going to tell the tale. All the restaurants that go from Austin are alive because teenagers or young adults running YouTube and Instagram ads. Every time I come in, the kids are like, look, it works. Like, hey, ads. Hey, I'm running ads. Ads work. If you know what you're doing, you got the right ads. They work. Process for profits. All these people screaming they don't want to start a business right now. Pretty much. Trump just announced a second stimulus on the way. Let me research that. As Trump would say, fake news. Why are you putting that fake news in the stream? Trump did not announce that. David Nino Brown, we're going to find out. Charles, a similar argument made about how well Jeb Bush has done as governor of Florida. 2 million new jobs, 60% of the jobs says that people work 20 hours overtime a week would still be below the poverty line. This is what I was saying, that a lot of these gig jobs, they counted in the jobs numbers, but a lot of these gig workers, they ain't making no money. David Nino Brown, that's pretty much, you got to adapt or die. This dude, Steph, I watched Meet Kev to see what you were talking about in his stimulus videos. He really, none of them are saying nothing. They're all just talking about this proposal. And people are finally starting to like, this ain't really news. This is just garbage. This is fluff. I mean, I saw one dude, he was like, well, Trump, I'm like, Trump doesn't, like, Trump come out of record. It's like Trump wants to do payroll pay cuts. He don't want to do another check. And the GOP Senate don't want to do another check. So the Democrats can come up with all of these fantastical proposals and all of this feel-good stuff. And unless they can get the Senate to cooperate, ain't nothing happening. Nothing. Paul Brown, and see, these people who are making more money on unemployment, once that stop, they're going to be in a world of hurt because they've got addicted to that money. Honey Bunny, 2 more of my exes reached out just a week. They know you got money, girl. They know you got a job. The homosexuals are coming for you. Eric Williams, if you know like I know, PP, you want to pay that back ASAP. They can run up and look at your books whenever. Like I said, like many of these folks don't understand how the Small Business Administration works. They own you. They gave you that money. They kind of own you. Kevin, my mother's-in-law antique business is going under. More than the pandemic killed that business. Because a lot of these antique shops are in trouble. David Nino, pretty much. Goddess, no. The second time around. Well, you know, Erica and David, a lot of people don't run their businesses properly. Because there are businesses that should have not shut down or shouldn't have been in economic harm's way if they had used their cash flow properly. Like my money management course. That's actually would help a lot of business owners get their stuff together. Because when I was consulting and I had folks making $2 and $3 million a year that only had 2 checking accounts and they had payroll. I was like, bruh, we got to clean all this up. You need this kind of checking account. You need this, you need this, you need this, you need a tax account. I was just amazed at how many business owners who got their business up making good cheese, they don't know how to run their books. They don't know how to run their books. Right now, I got checking accounts at 3 different damn banks. And I got one checking account that I'm just putting money into from Disruptive Mail. Because there's a video that's going to come out Sunday. It's going to be talking about accelerated income. Like Disruptive Mail, all the money I make from Disruptive Mail goes into my real estate fund. I don't even touch it. That's why I got money. Because I know how to segment money during the good times. They hope the selling business is booming. I mean, the course selling business. I actually talked about that in the Savage Finance video. So the PP rules released to our CPA today, and so now you have to use your PP loan in 8 weeks from the issue date for it to be forgivable. Folks are adding family to the payroll to boost up payroll spending. Good Lord. David, all the boomer businesses relying on foot traffic and storefronts didn't want to innovate. Now they dead and gone. I don't feel sorry for them. Look, I've been telling people since I've been on YouTube, I've said, do not open up a storefront. Get yourself a website, start selling online. And if you feel after you got your online sales bumping, you feel you want to do a storefront, do a storefront then. I have been preaching that. I've got a video, $100,000 out of a warehouse, because when I was in business before the pandemic, shutting down those storefronts and moving it to a warehouse and then running it online, we 5x'd our profits. And this was in 2000. This was before all of this now. This is before Amazon rose to prominence. And I'm just sitting there like, some people are just romantically in love with having a storefront and being a shopkeeper. And it's going to kill them. Maddie J, David Nino Brown, yes, a ton of small business books are terrible. They rely on day-to-day income to make everything work. They're not prepared to take a hit for any exterior period of time. Maddie J, this is what I'm talking about. Like I said, I will use my heart attack last year. I didn't work for 5 months. I was good. Because I've got a rating done fund. Because like I said, I know what can happen. Brian Chung's videos are starting to slow down. But yeah, he got to 100K subscribers. Charlton, I know. Black Caesar, Grant Cardone is on record saying that he got to government money. He got like a loan of almost $3 million. Honey Bunny, I'm telling you, a lot of people are it's not going to be forgivable. Oh, Erica, like this. Remember, I did this stream about this lady who had this spa, and her employees were mad that she got this money because they were making more money on unemployment in Washington State. Oh, there's a lot of folks who like Clearview Taxis, like, just make yourself unavailable. I'm not telling you not to go back to work. Just make yourself unavailable. I'm telling you, man. David, I wouldn't come back for a Mac job either. Really. Honey Bunny, it's a shit show for real. I can see that. Erica Williams, I can tell you most of the folks on the Empire Flopers are just using it to get the books high. Pretty much. Because I'm telling you, there's a reason that they're selling these businesses, because if you had a really good business model, you could just hire someone to run that business. Why sell it? Because Amazon FBA is getting harder and harder and harder. I actually saw a dude who did an honest Amazon FBA startup video, and he said you're going to need $5,000 to $20,000. He did not say you could start with $500, and no, he's like, you're going to need some real money to get this thing going. Pretty much buy like me. Sean Perry, I mean, the Amazon FBA thing is starting to crumble. And there are people who are holding on for dear life. Like, I got a Facebook friend who's like, he's throwing in the towel because Amazon is telling him what he can sell his products for. I want you to think about that. Amazon is saying what you can sell your products for. Oh, your price is too high. So if he bought that inventory at a certain price with the expectation to sell it for a certain price, and Amazon said you can't sell that price, Amazon is literally putting this dude out of business. Rod for real estate, interesting. Let's see, we just jumped. Good Lord. Pretty much, Rod for real estate. Hype, hype, hype. Eric Williams, most payments start in November 2020, so if there's another shutdown, they can't pay. Good Lord, this is going to be interesting. CZ, that could be a point. Pretty much, David, pretty much. Stefan Arzer, they returned that money because they didn't want to pay it back. They thought it was going to be free. That's my opinion. Roth Goff reminds me of 2003 when I was making 2000 a day on. I thought I ruled the world. I remember those days, man. Pretty much, Kevin. Bad relationship with money. Taxes gonna kill him. Nah, twill line man for hire. Not necessarily if you set your business up correctly. Eric Williams, trucking for whom? Are you asking for $2.30, $3 a mile? Many folks don't run their businesses like a business. A lot of these people, like you got a guy who's driving a truck, he becomes an owner operator. He knows how to drive a truck, which is a very valuable, important skill set. But does he know how to run a business? That's a completely different skill set. What I've seen is these truckers who are married, they do the driving and they have a wife at home who's running the business and they seem to do well. He said, I'm an over the road trucker and I haven't seen no stimulus check or the 10K forgiveness loan took out from the SBA, but I'm good because I'm local run to Walmart DC from the port. All right. Greatest economy ever while interest rates were ground zero bound. Many companies are learning you have to sell direct to the customers. These restaurants will realize it's better to have a Facebook email list and customers will use it. Like I said earlier, if I had a restaurant, I would have everyone's customer that comes in there, I would have their email address and phone number. Even long before this. Stephen Jameson, back in my party printing days, at the right email list could cost you 5K just to blast an email. This is why I'm building email lists. Like, essentially, when I was running ads, my conversions were really expensive. I was coming in at $5 a lead, which I could do better. So that's why I just scrapped that whole project and started with another one. Jay Smith, I've been running YouTube ads for about 6, 7 years. I did not take a course. I just started running ads. Roderick, FedEx Freight in California has furloughed some truck drivers and is now helping out FedEx Ground because FedEx Freight is slow and ground is booming. I can see that. Howard, yes, Bitcoin's on the rise, only to crash again. The stimulus videos are starting to lose traction. People have realized that these folks are just toying with their emotions. giant barns, like, you have to make a few. Calculated risk, hey. Faith works. I'm keep telling y'all, I don't think there's going to be a second check. Sean Osby, adding family to boost payroll will get your IRS audit and a visit from the federal police. The PP rules clearly state that's illegal and a violation. Really? Jay Smith, I just started running ads one day and I've learned on my own. Top authority, would HVAC and other repair businesses fall under your baby theory? I make good money almost as much as my full time. It just depends upon how much money it makes and can you take that money out the business. Cleveland, research the term isolation economy. It's a wrap for the sharing economy. Not necessarily. I think Uber drivers, DoorDash, Instacart, they're still out there. Steve Jameson, I would not be surprised how many businesses use the cash method versus the accrual method and have no idea how to do their accounting and are too cheap to hire an accountant. I would not be surprised at all. He said, make yourself inaccessible. Pretty much. Pretty much, Larry Swims. Jay Smith, let me tell you about YouTube ads. YouTube ads is only selling 30% of their capacity. That means they've got 70% of their capacity left to sell. There's so much opportunity. There's so much opportunity. There's so much opportunity. But I'm here, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to create click funnels to all of the courses, and I'm just going to have that free course on the main page. It's going to take me a while to do this because, I got to build the funnels and all this other stuff. And then I'm going to link them that way because there needs to be a narrative and there needs to be a story. But one of the things that I want you guys to understand is the foundational aspect of starting a business. Many folks are, you're smart. You're not an idiot, but there's certain things you've got to learn, like to start an internet business. And this is one of the things that I rail against. Whenever I see someone's internet ad that says easy, simple, you can spend more time with Big Booty Betty, I'm like, I already know that it's garbage. Because the reality is, if you start today on an internet business, you're looking at a 2 to 3 year journey. And it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be easy. Like right now, I am a seasoned internet marketer. And I'm like, I got to sit back and learn how to do ClickFunnels. It's going to take me a minute to get good with ClickFunnels. And that's why I'm going to make a funnel for each course that I have and just get it set up. Because, with your ClickFunnels account, you can set up to 20 funnels. And that's what I'm going to do. And then also I was going through some older ads and I was just like, good Lord, man, you stopped doing a lot of stuff. You stopped doing a whole bunch of things. Royston Gibbs, thanks for the $10 super chat. I know Steve Jamerson, like I said, I've seen this on YouTube. The best owner operators are the ones who scaled or who allows the wife to be the dispatcher. A lot of people are talking about how cash is being devalued and crypto is a good kid. How do you feel about that? Uh, I got cash money in the bank. I'm gonna hold cash. I am not gonna move my money to crypto because it's going to take years for what they're saying to happen. We're talking decades. I'm going to be like a 90-year-old man with a cane by the time this happens. Just like self-driving cars, self-driving trucks, crypto is 15 to 20 years away from mass adoption. And I'm going to stick with cash. And I would advise you to get your cash up because the crypto is such a dumpster fire right now that all you can do is buy it and hold it. You know, there's some places, there's a lot of new businesses that will let you use half your crypto to get a loan, and you got to give them access to your crypto. All kinds of scams out there. Thank you, calculated risk. All right, Thomas. Michael Demis, they already done that. Uncle G, if you were going to do Instacart, Black Caesar, I would never do any of those. Those are not real businesses. Those are good hustles, but they're not real businesses. I would not. No, I mean, when I did Uber, I had my Uber in the LLC. But once I did Uber for a few weeks, I realized that Uber was a good hustle, or it was a good part-time job, because the whole lie that you could drive when you want, that's a lie. You have to drive when traffic is high. And when I started making money on Uber, that's when I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and getting all these airport runs. So that's what I put in my book. Yeah, this whole notion, like the crypto people, they're sitting around thinking that the empire is going to crumble overnight. The empire is not going to crumble overnight. We're going to recover from this. We're going to go back to some sense of normal. We're not going to crumble, and the dollar's still going to be king for a long time. Right now, the dollar is stronger than it's ever been. So, that whole notion that like I said, cash, just, sitting on a bunch of cash, it will lose its value. It loses 2% a year due to inflation. So literally, you would have to sit on cash for a decade to to really get a good dent in it. You would have to sit on cash for 10 years to really get a good dent in it. And it's still going to have 90 something percent of its buying power. So this whole arguments don't have cash, like, when look for the video Sunday, because I got the editors working on it. Today is Wednesday, so they should have that done by Friday, and then it's going to upload Sunday, and then the one that's going to upload Friday, I should get that tomorrow, and then we're going to rock out. We're going to rock out. We're going to rock out. We're going to do what we need to do, because one of the things you got to understand. A business saved my life, and it can save yours. And all this talk like, I can't run the business. Essentially, you don't want to. That's pretty much what it is. You just don't want to do the work. And this is, with these internet scams, like, it's easy, it's simple. I see people will buy an internet course and then quit their job like a complete monkey. I'm like, why are you quitting your job? You don't understand what you got to learn. Green Machine. What's going on, Glenn? Thanks for the tips about looking in the free section of Craigslist. I got a 2001 John Deere for free and started my lawn care hustle. There you go. There you go. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Because, right now I'm kind of consumed with this funnel and ad testing thing. And then I'm going to get back to the training because today is Wednesday. This week has gone by really, really quickly. But we're going to get into, because I got to nail this stuff down, because The traditional way that I've been getting people in my funnel is, through this YouTube channel. And I'm building Savage Finance, and I'm going to create another YouTube channel that I'm probably not going to share with y'all to keep the Greg Murray assholes of the world out of my business. That's just interesting that someone is always, because both his little comments on my Savage Finance page had to do with my YouTube channel. And it's like, you want a YouTube channel? Make one. Make some videos. Oh, that's right. You don't have that kind of talent. I'm sorry, my bad. You can't get anything started. You can't do a YouTube channel. Noop Juice, Warren Buffett's holding north of 100. He's holding like 138 billion. Jay Smith, I want you to start thinking of a business, a durable business. Like the mask thing is hot right now, and if you're prepared for that, you can make some money. But that's not something for you to get into, because this is one of the things that kills so many people. They're looking for these super high profitable, low barrier businesses, and that's just a hustle. It's just a hustle. So, be a little bit more diligent. Uncle G, I have no clue. We don't talk. I don't know what's going on with that chick. I know nothing. I gets Nathan, but you know, it is what it is. So we're going to be doing something different. I'm going to start building out these funnels and everything else. But just know, just remember, when you start seeing the articles and when you start seeing all the people complaining that they got screwed by these PP loan people because they thought it was supposed to be forgiven, remember where you heard it first. So with that, I'll see you guys later.